My name's Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to the Dum-Dum Game. Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Are you kidding me?
It was the worst pain ever.
Explain what the game is.
It's called the Dum-Dum Game, and you get a good question that's kind of tricky, and then if you don't get it right, boom.
They were on a fourth grade level, yeah. Tricky question.
Yeah.
Poopies, who played the piano on Elton John's album Madman Across the Water?
Hello, my name is Claire Lim, this is NME, and I'm here with Johnny Knoxville. Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. How does it feel to be back?
Back in London or back with Jackass?
Back with Jackass and in London.
I love being in London.
What have you got up to?
So, well, you know, promoting during the day and drinking at night like I'm supposed to be doing.
That's good.
And it's wonderful to be back with the new Jackass film. Nothing is as fun as making Jackass, and God, cast and crew have been together for over 20 years. Yeah. So it's a big dysfunctional family, and it's good to have them back together.
Is anyone from the old crew, I want to talk about the new crew in a second, who I think are fantastic additions.
Thank you.
But with the old crew, has anyone changed over the years, gotten softer
Sure.
over the years? Or?
Well, people, like, if you're the same person you were at 20 as you are at 50, you've really not done yourself any service.
Wrong.
Right, you got to change.
Still, imagine being 20, that 20.
Having the same attitude at 20 as now, I would be fucked.
No. I mean, even now, I'm like, my lower back needs to be rested. Like, I need to get in bed at least before 10 o'clock. It's really bad. So who are you now and compared to what you were 20 years ago? How have you changed coming into Jackass and filming this and doing all this now? How's your mindset changed?
Well, sure, I've changed. But in regards to Jackass, I haven't changed, and it hasn't changed. We've kept Jackass the way it was since the beginning. Mm. We were trying to make each other laugh in the beginning. That's how we knew if a bit was good, if everyone was laughing. And that's how we still judge a bit. There's no, we don't run it by anyone but us. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but everyone changed. Steve-O used to be just a complete shit show on drugs but he's turned his life around, and he's sober for over 14 years, I think.
Wow. And
he's doing great. I'm so proud of him, and that's like real courage because he has to face that dragon every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we changed, but Jackass stays the same. We did bring on a new cast, which brought in some new energy and new blood. What
was it like having the new blood in there? I thought it was great. I'm going to be honest, skeptical at first because, you know, always am when something new happens to something old that I love.
Right.
But I loved them, and I love Eric Andre. So when I saw that, great. I was like, yeah. What were they like? Were they scared the first sort of moments on set? Or
who, the new cast or Eric Andre?
Generally the new cast. Did you have to coax them?
Sure. The old cast and new cast, they're all scared all day long on set because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Jeff Tremaine and I know 98.5% what's going on, but there's 1.5% that Jeff and I keep from each other.
Okay.
You know, so, but the cast comes in not knowing.
Okay.
So, and because of COVID, we couldn't prank the public as much. We didn't figure out how to do that until like halfway through the movie. But so most of the pranks were on the cast. So they really got it.
When you're watching the film, I don't think it comes across how serious the injuries that you sustained actually were.
Well, yeah, because it's a comedy, and I didn't I deliberately skipped the brain hemorrhage when I was recounting my injuries because, like, broken wrist, fine. Yeah. Broken rib, fine. Concussion, it's all right. But if I said brain hemorrhage, like, everyone would have like gasped, and so I just left it out.
What kept you coming back from? Because that took you quite a while to get over, right?
Yeah. Took me a few months.
Yeah, and were you trepidatious about coming back into it again, or did you just get back in and go right?
Well, I mean, we backload my most dangerous stunts to the end of the film, so I had 2 or 3 more stunts left to do.
Okay.
Big ones, but after that, I couldn't. The doctor's like, no way, you can't. You've had 16 concussions. You just had a terrible concussion. your brain is scrambled right now. And I was like, all right. So those got kicked to the side.
I mean, you've said, like, you know, if anything happens in future, you might stay a little bit behind the camera, but can you do that? Can you stay behind the camera?
Jeff Trevane is convinced I can't.
Because it seems like you
I
love
hope
it.
I can, but I don't know.
Did it make you think twice a little bit when that happened, and maybe thinking, right, maybe
No, like I knew going into this movie that this was going to be the last time that I do big stunts because I got kids and like I've had so many injuries, and I felt like I can go out good
Yeah.
in this film by being my last with big stunts. So, yeah, I got nothing left to prove in that area. So
will you miss it if you could never do it?
I do.
Yeah, you do?
I will, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I thought
I'll
so.
miss the bulls.
If you could take one member of the gang, the old crew, to live with you on a desert island forever, only one, who would you take and why?
Chris Pontius.
I thought you would say that. I kind of thought so. How come?
He's just off his rocker in the best way, and he's so funny, and he's so sweet, and he's just a pleasure to be around. I don't know how that little mind of his works, but it just makes me laugh every time.
Is he very much as he is when you see him on screen?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's a complete free spirit.
Okay.
Totally free spirit. He's the best. I love all the guys and the girls, Rachel Wolfson, but Pontius he's something else.
Yeah, I do like him a lot. You kind of warmed to him on screen. You mentioned Rachel. A lot of people have said online, oh, there's like a girl in the crew now, and I know that you said you didn't find hurting women funny before, so there weren't any females in the crew, but was it nice having that other dimension?
Yeah, it was great.
What was Rachel like?
She's a stand-up comedian, so she's so funny, and she's so smart, and her humor is so dry, and she comes from this great family. Her mom's a judge, her dad's a district attorney, her sister's an attorney, and Rachel's that smart. She prefers to do creative things.
Yeah.
So she's wonderful, and she like put all the guys to shame as far as toughness goes. Like she was tougher than any of us.
Yeah, I think there was one bit, I think we have to remain silent. I was like...
Yeah. She licked a stun gun, didn't even barely react.
Her face wasn't moving.
I know, I was like, Jesus. We'd have been yelling and howling, but she's just like, nah.
Yeah, because my husband was like, nah, no chance. We were watching it, and she did it, and he went, fair dues to her. I'm like, wow, my God, like, she's tough.
I was like, God, can't you react a little? It's kind of funny, but no, it's the truth. We don't like fake anything, and she didn't give a shit.
She was really good. I liked her a lot, actually. You're all pretty tough, but...
Nah, we're a bunch of sissies.
I mean, I was going to ask, like, who out of all of you, because, I mean, all of you, even if you see sometimes you moan, you complain, sometimes some people go, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But who is the softest of the crew, really? Like, someone that you'd have to really coax into doing things?
Oh, I think Tremaine has to coax a few of the guys into doing things every now and then. But that's part of it. That's good, right? Like, they're showing their fear.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
And Jeff is really good at getting people to do stuff they don't want to do. He's great at talking Wee Man into it, or Aaron. They really show fear. Well, all the guys show fear the funniest. I mean, Dave England and Aaron McGehee were hilarious in the Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. I mean, they were just basically angry at each other like an old married couple. They weren't even mad at Jeff and me, who were the ones doing it to them. They were just mad at each other. That's how their fear came out.
In terms of things that you wouldn't do, like, is there anything that you have an irrational fear of that you wouldn't do? Mine is always spiders. So if you do, I could even look at the screen when the spider thing happened in the movie. I just won't look at it.
Right.
So I'll do most things, but not a spider thing. Nope. But is there anything that you're super fearful of?
I'm not super fearful of it, but I don't like cold weather or cold water.
Oh, right, okay.
I've done stuff in cold weather and cold water. It's just a hassle.
All right.
So...
don't film in Scotland then. That won't.
No, I'd love to film in Scotland. I just wear a heavy jacket.
You just like wear like 3 layers of like a rubber suit or something.
Yeah.
If going into a lock.
No, I'd love to film in Scotland. But the guys do have irrational fears.
Okay.
Steve-O, who will let you put a hook in his mouth, chum up the ocean, and then cast him out to sea to catch a shark with his body. You can do that to him, fine. But we tried to get him to bungee jump once for an episode, and he was like, "Fuck you, dude, I'm not doing it."
Oh my God.
And he jumps, I've seen him jump out of an airplane like 80 feet in the air into the water, or he jumps off bridges, does flips off bridges. But for some reason, like he's like, "Fuck you, I'm not bungee jumping." It's like something that grandmas do.
So
I don't know. It's just you just like go, okay.
That is so strange.
Yeah.
That's so weird. But then I mean, I've thought about that. I'd love to jump out of a plane, but for some reason, I think it's the snap of the bungee. Maybe that I don't know if that's.
I don't know.
the
Like
thing.
he does so many things so much worse than bungee jumping.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. It's like, okay, dude,
I'd rather do that.
that's your line in the sand.
I'd rather do that than have like my balls out, like getting
Yeah.
them clamped and pulled and all sorts
Yeah.
of things like that. So fair dues. In terms of like, I read that you rate the stunts from like with stars. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So 1 star to 5 star. What is like a 1 star thing? And do 1 star things ever even make it? Like, do you do some, or is it always just 5 stars?
No, sometimes 3 stars will make it, 4 star, 5 stars definitely, but sometimes, like, I think probably we had an idea with super glue, right, for Jackass #2, and there was no idea. It was just like, let's get some super glue and see what we can do with it. That's probably a 1 star idea as written.
Okay.
But you get the guys together and you bring out the super glue and everyone starts doing stupid shit together, 69ing each other together in the 69 position and super gluing Bam's hand to his father's chest and he comes away with a hairy palm. They went from a 1 star idea to 5 stars when we filmed it.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite ones when we don't, like it was raining. Right, and we couldn't do what we wanted to do, and like Jeff said, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, we got super glue," and that was it. Jeff had no idea, I had no idea, and we just threw out the super glue, and
Fair.
the guys, we all came up with something.
And so when you're planning it, you said you were emailing yourself, ideas for this movie, and just trying to find them when you were kind of like actually going to make it. Is that your process creatively? Do you just email yourself or write them down when they come to you?
Yeah, I have to email them to myself to have a hard trail because I'll get an idea, and if I don't write it down, that idea never existed because I will forget it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never knew if we were going to do a Jackass 4, but I did know to write my ideas down just in case.
And there's 4.5.
Yeah, and it's great.
Tell me about 4.5.
It's one of our strongest 0.5s. When 0.5 is strong, we've got a good movie.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's not like, the weak bits go into 4.5. There's great bits in 4.5. Just because some things may be a little, like, same in the movie. Like, that prank's kind of like this one or that one. Okay, we have a lot of cock in the movie. Let's transfer some of the cock to 4.5.
Transferal of cock is good.
Yeah. and we can do a little more behind the scenes and talk about the stunts. And there's more Dark Shark in 4.5. Dark Shark is amazing. That's Jasper's dad who was in the spider bit.
I really like him.
He is so funny.
Yeah, I did want to see more of him. I'm glad he's going to be in 4.5.
Yeah, he's great.
Really glad. And what about the future then, beyond 4.5? Do you envisage yourselves in another 20 years coming back and doing another one?
Oh, shit. At 70.
Can you imagine? I think you've got it in you. What do you think?
Would be, guess it could be funny. Hello, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is a Colostomy Bag Challenge.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see the stunts might be slightly different, but amusing for an older generation.
It might be dark, might be sad, but could be funny.
Dark and sad's my jam. So that's my
Oh
jam.
boy, now I want to meet some of your boyfriends, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, like that's definitely my husband. That was his Tinder profile for sure. Dark and sad. Yes, I'm in. Thank you very much.
He's gonna be very happy to see this.
He'll be like, thanks. He'll be like really into that. Johnny, thank you so much. It's so wonderful to have you in London because this is the first time I've done this for a long time and face to face, which is
Oh,
quite
good.
So this is great. Thank you very much for your time. Everyone go see the movie. I want 10 million more of these movies. It was so fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.